I Am Stylin'. Adventures in Pop Culture is brought to you by StylinOnline.com.
What's up, fans? It's KP at Moscone Center for WonderCon with the man behind the event, Mr. David Glanzer. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Thanks for having us at WonderCon. It looks like we've got great attendance for this year.
Yeah, you know, our Friday was really pretty surprising. Fridays are typically light for any show, and yesterday, was so packed that we actually had to stop selling 3 days. And the show floor has just opened, and we actually had to suspend Saturdays. So our numbers are up.
Well, good problems to have. The fans are coming out in droves. We've seen them from blocks around downtown San Francisco, staying at the different hotels, on the bridges, in cabs, coming here in full costume. Quite an addition to your fair city.
Right. Well, one of the great things about WonderCon is it's got this small, relaxed vibe, but you can't really call it a small show. Last year we had over 39,000 people. This year it looks like our number is going to top that. But one of the great things about WonderCon is, as intimate of a show as it still attracts mainstream guests. I mean, you know, Neil Gaiman is here, Ryan Reynolds was here. It's a full caliber show.
Now, when we were in the streets asking the attendees who were obvious participants and not obvious participants, it seemed like you're getting all kind of different types that come to this convention, right?
Yeah, one of the things that we really focus on is diversity. Diversity on the floor, diversity in our programming, and we see a diversity in attendees. There are people who come here specifically just for the comics tracks of programming. Some for gaming, some for movies, some for television.
In this Sunday's episode, we're headed to Varanasi, India.
I always like to say, you know, on any given weekend, I don't know if all these people here would hang out together, but during WonderCon weekend, they do, and we all get along and have a great time.
Well, one of the girls we interviewed in costume outside asking what is WonderCon, and she cutely said,
I think it is the delightful younger brother of
Comic-Con, right? So your group is responsible for the San Diego Comic-Con also.
That's true, and we do that with San Diego as well. I mean, San Diego diversity, again, is also a really big thing. One of the great things about WonderCon is it's more of an intimate atmosphere, but it's the same caliber of guests. So people who want kind of a Comic-Con light in terms of crowds, but you know, in depth in terms of guests and all that, can come up here, and I think people are having a good time.
Now, we're seeing more and more conventions pop up, but WonderCon is a name that I think, like Comic-Con, is part and parcel to that real convention goer's repertoire, right? Where am I going to go? What is WonderCon planning to do in the future to kind of keep up that growth?
Well, you know, one of the great things about WonderCon also is, you know, this is our 25th anniversary,
right,
and it's always had a kind of a laid-back atmosphere, and I think that's probably representative of the Bay Area. We've had to suspend sales this weekend. I think next year we're going to probably look for a little bit bigger space. You know, the future is always going to be dictated upon the interest in the show, whether it be attendees, exhibitors, things of that nature. So if we do grow, it'll be out of necessity and not necessarily out of desire.
Hey, what are you waiting in line for?
I believe they're giving out pins that represent the emotional spectrum from Green Lantern and Brightest Day.
What would a comic convention be without comics? Lots and lots of comics. Now, David, I can't believe that you're in this business and not be a fan of something here. So what are you a fan of?
I'm a fan of everything. How's that for a pure answer? No, you know what? There's some amazing comics guests that I want to see. I love a lot of the independent stuff. I'm a big Star Wars fan. But you know what? One of the things I tell people, and this is really true, there's certain booths I always want to hit, but I make it a point to try, if I have the time, try to hit booths I wouldn't normally go to, because it really expands your knowledge. And I think one of the things that WonderCon attendees have discovered is, just because you like one thing doesn't mean you can't like something else.
Right.
And this is the place to discover that.
Well, congratulations on your 25th anniversary and another fine event, and we'll look forward to seeing you in San Diego.
Great, I look forward to it too. Thank you so much.
More to come from Moscone Center or WonderCon. I'm KP in downtown San Francisco. I am Stylin', StylinOnline.com. And how are you enjoying the show, young man?
I am styling.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Chris Rupp. How are you, sir?
I'm tired.
You've been waiting in line.
45 minutes, and not a moment longer will I stand here.
Worst wait ever. With an IE. Sammy, how's the tower tree? How is the...
Battlestar Galactica.
Batman. Serenity.
What was that? Highlander.
The Empire Strikes Back.
Doctor Who. Star Trek The Next Generation was my favorite.
Scooby-Doo.
Well, at the moment, it would be True Blood.
True Blood.
True Blood.
I have to say True Blood too.
She-Ra.
Doctor Who.
Star Wars, Episode 4.
Firefly, without a doubt.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Joker, obviously.
Family Guy.
Good choice.